Resolution number 12, general purpose school fund budget amendment. Matt, you want to come up, Melissa, one and explain what these amendments are doing? Basically moving money around to pay some employees.
Yeah, so nothing's out of, none of the amendments are a result of additional spending. It's just to pay as budgeted. So you'll see the first couple pages there, item number 2 on page 2 of 2. Well, let's start with 1 of 2. Item 1 at the top, you'll see a little 1 in the left-hand column there. Footnote 1, to budget the approval of prior experience for CTE and non-certificated employees. If you remember in our budget that was submitted, we recognized over a period of time that none of our non-certificated employees, therefore any position outside the certificated realm of employees, which for us is every other position except for teachers, came in and started at level 0 of every representative pay scale. Teachers can come into the system and get credit for prior experience in other systems, bring that experience over. But historically speaking, we have not honored that from other employees. So we made a motion, created an action that allows us to view employees' prior experience that they're bringing into Hawkins County, and specifically non-certificated and CTE positions. So let's say we opened a masonry program in CTE, and you were leaving your private practice, your private position, your sole ownership of your business to come over and teach kids masonry. Well, asking you to leave a full-time job on your own, making what you make an hour, and coming over and working with students and teaching them and having to start at level 0, it made it very difficult for us to recruit people into those positions. Bus drivers, mechanics, plumbers, HVAC, same type of thing. So we came up with a system that if we hired you and you said, well, I've got 15 years of applicable experience for this position, we ask for a verification from your former employer or tax records if you own your own business, verifying that you did those duties and had those skills, and then we would compensate up to year 15 for a new employee coming in with that experience. So it's been very beneficial for us in recruiting and retaining our non-certificated employees. So footnote 1 is about that amendment there, and you'll see the adjustment. If you go down to 2, appropriations for revisions in E-Plan, you'll see that $3,900 is being adjusted from encumbrance. Number 3, budgeted donation received from Dollar General. So we've got a full-time grant writer, and as we receive grants, we have to account for those and show what's coming in and where it's going to be used. And then we've got donations received for the Family Resource Center there, totaling $200 for number 4. For cafeteria fund, which is the next one, we've got.
Wait, hold
Sorry.
on. Do we need to vote on that? Y'all want to vote on them one by one, or y'all want to vote on them as a whole? Okay, go ahead, Matt.
This is the prior experience specifically hitting any cafeteria worker. So the prior experience that I talked about, the amount that is being used to account for that there. On that footnote, Melissa. So what's I guess the amended, but
58,791.
yeah, 50, yeah. Okay, so you'll see the 58,791, sorry. And then the last one is transportation, and that's the same thing. So anybody working in our transportation department, whether it be a mechanic, bus driver, anybody that brought in prior work experience. Interestingly, we started this, if you remember, with our bus drivers several years ago, and we told them that if they had received their CDLs in other counties, whether it was driving buses or any heavy equipment or anything requiring a professional license, that they could bring that prior verification in and we would compensate them for that up to, like I said, several years of experience. And I think we had 4 or 5 initially that first year. We opened it up this year to all non-certificated, and we did get quite a few. So you'll see most of the amendments are dealing with that this time around, in addition to those donations. But even though it has resulted in a hit to some of the budget, as far as our salary costs, I think it's going to go a long way in retaining our employees and giving them credit for experience they're bringing into the school system.
In transportation, so you're giving credit for anybody that had a CDL for X number of years and has been working?
Yeah, we did, yes, Mr. Eden, we did that starting several years ago, and I think initially we had 4 or 5 that brought in the paperwork to bump up. Now that we've done it with all other employees, we had newer bus drivers that were coming in to replace some of our retirees, and they're bringing that in as well. So this, for us, it ended October 31st. I think we cut it up September 30th, sorry, month off. We ended it September 30th. We are allowing new hires, if we hire them beyond September 30th, a window of time to get that verification in. But for most purposes, it is, the deadline has come and gone, so we're bringing the amendments at this point.
What about some of your CTE teachers that's been working quite a while and didn't get that credit?
If they didn't get it this year, they've got opportunities to do it each successive year. It's not a one-time shot, but we do have a window of time through the summer up to September 30th. However, I will tell you that, for example, you know one that owned her own cosmetology business and came and taught cosmetology for us at Cherokee. Well, she now gets credit for that business owned, and prior to that she did not.
Man, I thought when somebody like the cosmetology, when they get certified, they had to give documentation. I thought the state started them on us at on BS plus so many years.
Well,
At one time, is that not the way they did that?
I don't think so.
well, not,
That was my understanding. They would give them so many years credit.
there's 2 things going on there. You are correct in certain positions that credit is acknowledged by TCRS. Now, what has happened in recent history is somebody that's interested in teaching, leaving a private sector job and coming and teaching, the Department of Ed has allowed us to work with probationary licensure. So somebody that may not have all that paperwork filed, done, completed, can go ahead and move over and start working in the school system. This allows us to place them accordingly in lieu of any state placement on a higher scale.
Okay.
So.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. So this would apply specifically to non-certificated staff that are in teaching positions. It's going to apply to all non-certificated staff?
CTE and all non-certificated.
And I asked you about this the other day. I don't know if y'all talk about military service as part of prior experience. But if that's something that y'all could look into in the future.
Absolutely, and I've told several that have inquired of me and Ms. Karen Davenport that if they feel like it's applicable directly to what they're doing with our students, and I think you can draw pretty broad general qualifications there that we would honor that if we get that paperwork.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? Questions? Motion to send these 3 budget amendments on to the county commission be in order?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Charlie and second by Keith. Is there any other discussion? If not, I think we'll do the voice vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks for moving us up.